I don't know if it's just me, but I feel as though female rap is going extinct. This isn't the first time that female rappers disappeared because they had a lot of female rappers back in the 90s, like MC Light and Queen Latifah, Salt and Pepper. I think they're rappers, I'm not really sure. But after a while, they ended up fading away and then they came back. I feel like there's a problem within female rap and just rap in general because they begin to find talent that was more of quantity than quality. So when you're trying to make fast cash, I feel like this is what happens. The genre kind of pretty much dies out in order to begin to look for actual stars and talent. Because right now there is no stars in Hollywood. I keep saying that. I'm going to continue to say that there is no stars in Hollywood left. Only a couple of few, as far as like Nicki Minaj, Kendrick Lamar. That's really about it I can name off the top of my head right now. But we're going to see and talk about a few rappers that are still kind of sort of making music, but they're definitely on the edge of extinction. Some of them are on YouTube, some of them are in, relationships, quotation marks around that. But before we get into the video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe and hit that notification bell. So the first person we're going to start off with today will be Lotto. She's still rapping at this time. She is also still, putting out music. Her latest single that she put up was called Chicken Grease. So she's kind of, sticking to the trap queen ATL new persona. And I feel like that, it could be working. Someone is supporting her music, but, I still don't feel like Lotto is a star. I don't think that she ever was a star when she came out, via my opinion. I feel like that, she has to go back to the drawing board because there's no emotions and feelings that I feel when Lotto is rapping. But I did like her song called Somebody. I am seeing her a lot on YouTube and people's vlogs, and she is staying relevant. So I would definitely call her more of an influencer because she's actually doing really good marketing as far as like being on YouTube, but she might as well just start her own YouTube channel. Everyone is saying that her downfall started with the whole Nicki Minaj beef, how she put out the voice notes on the internet and text messages. So a lot of people are saying that this is her karma. Others are saying that it's because of her sister, aka Destiny swapping. I just feel as though everyone finds their way into music and then they end up somewhere else. Some people get their start in music, the next thing they're doing modeling. Some people are doing YouTube, some people are doing something else. I feel like for Lotto, music was just her entryway into the industry. I feel like now she should get into her influencer bag because she does a lot of mukbangs. People like to look at her, people like to see her. So I feel like her being in her influencer bag and in her lane is definitely good for her. Now, I feel like that she does have a small fan base as far as like in ATL Atlanta. They hold her in high regards. So I feel like this is why she's in her trap queen making music era, because it works for her. So, I mean, if it's working for her, it's working for her. As far as mainstream goes, I feel like that she kind of died down a lot. But, I feel like that she can definitely pivot into influencer, vlogger, and things of that nature to continue her, momentum and to stay relevant. I feel like social media is definitely on her side when it comes to her influence. Speaking of influencer, Coi Leray is also in her influencer bag since she is now a new mother. And I feel like that, this could definitely work for her since her music, kind of dialed down. I did hear like behind the scenes she was having issues with her label or something like that. I'm not really sure, but as of right now, people are definitely interested in seeing her being a new mom. So her being an influencer or a vlogger, getting brand deals, for like baby sponsors is probably, what she's going to be, looking forward to moving forward. I do like Coi Leray, whatever her name is. I like some of her songs that I heard on the radio. I just thought that she was here for a good time, not a long time. So now that she's now into motherhood, I feel like that she still may continue to make music, but I feel like for her, mostly vlogging or, getting those deals, she can still model and she can also still do music. But I just feel like a lot of people, or a lot of people that I'm talking about, as far as them going to extinct, they really don't have a fan base. And I feel like when they were doing the whole, quantity versus quality artists, I feel like their fan bases are fickle. The reason why a lot of these people are not successful, because I feel like a lot of people are fans, their fans hype them up online, but they really don't support them. So a lot of people are now seeing that all the older artists that have like a substantial fan base, now it's pretty much harder to have like a substantial fan base, because the fans really don't like the artist. They only like them on Monday and then they want to turn on them on Wednesday. So yeah, it's kind of harder now to have a fan base, or it's harder now to get a reach. So I feel like her, becoming a mother, people want, that relatability. And I feel like they'll support her if she's going to be, doing motherhood and, giving her fans an update on that. As far as musically, I'm not really sure where that's going to go for her, but she definitely has other opportunities that she can grab onto. Now let's get into Meg Thee Stallion. Even though she has dropped music, her albums sales have not been doing well at all. Now she's doing relationships. She's hopping from relationships to relationships, and now she's in a quotation mark relationship with Clay Thomas. Now, do I believe that this is real? I mean, I don't really see any connections when they're looking at each other's eyes. I just feel like more of like friends with benefit vibes. But if they say they're together, then hey, they're together, quotation marks on that. Honestly, I feel like Megan is now an influencer. She's influencing people, in relationship. Everyone has a lot to talk about, her look and stuff like that, because she is looking good. Like I stated, she does have her liquor business and she does have a Popeyes, and she also has a degree. So if the music don't work, she can definitely, go work in her field of whatever her degree is. And she also does really good influencing people, like to see what she's doing. And, she does also have that fake supporters that act like they're going to pay and buy for her album, and then they leave her high and dry. So yeah, I feel like with Meg Thee Stallion, people just want to see her rather than, hear her or care about her music. So I feel like that her being in her influencer era is definitely good for her. I'm not sure if she's going to be doing any acting. Like I did once upon a time thought that she was going to take the Queen Latifah route, because they was giving me like favor, like they kind of look alike to me a little bit. But I seen her in the SNL, doing acting, and it was kind of off. But if she gets some more training, I can see her doing like small bits, or continue to show up in different shows like how she did in P-Valley. But other than that, she does have other options and other lanes and avenues that she can definitely venture off on. But I just feel like musically, no one really cares. All her drama, all her relationship is kind of now overshadowing her musically. So yeah, influencer, socialite, coming on, a show, a popular show here and there, to be in it for a little bit and, and call it a day. That's how I pretty much see Meg Thee Stallion so far. And the last but not least, we're going to get into Miss Cardi B, because, we stay seeing her crashing out online. I feel like that Cardi B belongs on television or YouTube, because she definitely has a media personality. That's how she started in reality TV. She does have an album coming out in September. Am I going to listen to it? No, I'm not going to buy it. I'm not really a Cardi B fan, but, I feel like that she has other things that she can do besides music. She is like online, like doing mukbangs and stuff like that, or trying new snacks and food. So I feel like that people love to also look at her as well. They also like her personality. So I feel like she will always get a bag just based off of that. And I do like to see her in her fashion pieces when it is done quite well. I do like to see her in her fashion bag. She also has other opportunities, but I just feel like musically the momentum is not there. Yes, she has a #1 album. She only has one one album, but I feel as though, she is dropping in September, and I'm not really sure if, she has the same hype or momentum as she once did. Also, her relationships, she's now with another guy, and, she's still having drama with her ex-husband, and we're going to see how that plays out. But other than that, like I said, she's really good at reality TV and causing drama. So I feel like that she still has that little bit momentum as far as like people are interested about her life. But honestly, I just feel like people like to see her acting up or crashing out. That's kind of like her brand. So I feel like that she will, milk that until it's dry.